Today in this video we would like to celebrate the internationality and interdisciplinarity of the Centre's research across
geography,
socio-ecological systems and knowledge systems.
Because
it brings out the nuances and the context-specific issues pertaining to fire management.
My name is Chege Amos from King's College London, PhD on geography, investigating how wildfires interact with climate change to shape the vegetation of protected areas, and how that results to human-wildlife interactions in savannas and in forests of East Africa.
Hi, I'm Abby. I'm a PhD student at Imperial College London, and I research community-based fire management across East and Southern African savanna protected areas. I use a mixed methods approach, so some fieldwork data mixed with more qualitative reviews, and I'm also working on a social ecological systems model.
Hi, my name is Rahina Siddiq from King's College London, reading a PhD in human geography, and my research focuses on the contestations of fire management in Ghana's savanna landscape. Through my research, I've used mixed methods, which includes remote sensing, policy reviews, institutional interviews, as well as other participatory methods.
My name is Michel, and I am a PhD student in Imperial College. I'm doing some research to understand the link between fire regime, wildfire risk, and environmental policy in the Brazilian Amazon. So through my research, I have used a lot of modeling and remote sensing approach and mixing it with social science to understand the use of fire in indigenous. And for the four of us, the common area of research is that we are investigating the use of fire in the protected area in the tropics. And one common topic the four of us came across through our research project is the criminalization of fire.
Interaction with the Leverhulme Centre researchers from Imperial College when we were doing their studies at Tsavo in Kenya led to the part of my PhD project. Look at how wildfires and wild animals interact within the protected areas and how that results to conflicts or interactions between wildlife and people outside protected areas. Whereas most of these protected areas have these fire suppression policies, then my interest was to investigate how that is resulting to complications in terms of wildlife management in these ecosystems.
So the Leverhulme Centre kindly supported me during 5 months field work in southern Kenya, where I went to explore sort of the colonial legacies in fire management, thinking about who is criminalising who in terms of fire use, and trying to elicit this sort of traditional fire knowledge, only to find that sometimes we're trying to elicit a knowledge that doesn't necessarily exist anymore, and actually some of the criminalisation is internal, so coming from the communities themselves.
Drawing on decolonizing fire science, through my fieldwork, I found that the anti-fire campaigns in northern Ghana has really made people not to openly talk about fire issues. They see fire as a criminal activity, and that has really changed the narrative. So local communities are now engaging with the dominant narrative that fires are bad, but I think that people are not honest or do not feel comfortable to talk about fire issues on the ground, and which really constrains local knowledges or drawing on local knowledges from these areas.
Funded my fieldwork for going into Capoto Charina in the Brazilian Amazon. And there I did some investigation for understanding a little bit more about local fire brigade, which are funded by the government, and also members of the indigenous community are perceiving the wildfire risk and adapting to it. And through all the intellectual exchange we get through the group on fire governance, it allowed me to contextualize what I see in the discussion we have with kind of a global narrative on fire criminalization and the mentions of new solutions for fire management.
So having the opportunities to explore these challenges as a group has allowed us to realise that actually things like the criminalisation of fire, the knowledges of these topics are ever evolving, and that's because of multiple different reasons.
Historical narratives are focused on land degradation and desertification narratives. Current narratives are centered on climate change or carbon sequestration, and this has really promoted a lot of land restoration activities in savanna areas. However, these landscapes are very flammable, and lots of these land restoration projects, especially tree planting, it will only lead to a lot of wall buildup, and this can promote devastating fires in terms of drought. So there's a need to really take into consideration extensive land restoration projects in these areas.
Another consideration is the socio-ecological systems that are driven, or changes that are driven by climate change and human developments in these ecosystems.
And today we have the emergence of integrated fire management program, and it's really important to understand what knowledge is integrated in it for getting a world picture and a world consideration of the wildfire risk and how it's changing over time.
So thank you, Leverhulme Centre, for fostering interdisciplinary research on wildfires, environment and society.
After 5 years of the Leverhulme Centre for Wildfire, Environment and Society, we want to briefly reflect on some different aspects of collaboration and how we might try to improve it in future. We can think about collaboration across the centre in terms of our research, our culture and our communications.
We feel there should be more opportunities in the centre to collaborate on really novel interdisciplinary research. We've tried this in different ways. Our first attempt was a joint paper that stitched together contributions from different disciplines, but where the authors of different sections worked independently and we didn't develop much joint synthesis. More recently, people from different disciplines have asked a research question jointly and brought different knowledges together to answer it. This latter model helps us to learn from each other and develop shared knowledge and culture within the centre.
So Shege, what makes you feel part of the centre?
I think the availability of different groups handling wildfires or dealing with the different disciplines of wildfires gives a very good opportunity for every student and makes me feel part of the wildfire of the Leverhulme Centre. Apart from that, there's some induction can be improved so that the students can be more exposed to research and more exploration learning through trainings. I think that would be a good idea.
Okay, thanks.
If we are asked to speak to the media, how can we be confident about communicating key messages from across the centre and not just our own research? For example, what if you were asked, is climate change causing more fire? Or who should pay for the damage caused by wildfires? We think we could do better in building our confidence about what we know as a centre and how we can represent the breadth of the work being done.
So what can we do?
When you are working on fire, having experience of an actual fire can really help to bring your academic work to life. My first experience of fire was when I was doing my PhD in the Savannah grasslands of Benin 30 years ago. Funnily enough, what I remember most is the sound, which was incredibly loud, overwhelming and scary even before I could see or smell the fire. In fact, I went out with my tape recorder to record what I thought might be my last message home. The centre recognises the importance of experiential learning. For example, you can take a vegetation fire operators course run by the Forestry Commission. More of this would be great.
What you need is Fire 101.
Fire 101 would be a resource that we produce in the centre, maybe like a frequently asked questions on a website or an interactive learning module that explains what we know about fire and our perspective on fire from across the Leverhulme Centre for Wildfire, Environment and Society.